What we do here is go back, 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 back.
Hi guys, welcome to this episode of Shared Sharing. So what I'm going to talk about in this episode is how I went from being super skinny and being able to put on some size. So when I was younger, I thought I was more ectomorph body type. So you've got your ectomorph, your mesomorph and your endomorph. So your ectomorphs are skinny guys that struggle to put on weight. Your mesomorphs, your naturally built guys that can put on size, take it off, etc. And then your endomorphs are your big upset guys that sometimes have trouble taking the weight off but are naturally a bigger build. Alright, so I thought I was an ectomorph. So my metabolism was super fast, didn't matter what I ate, I never got really big, etc. So that was as a young fella. I grew up pretty tall and I was a big kid and I grew up and got tall and skinny. And that awkward moment where your feet are too big and you're a bit goofy looking. So what I did is when I joined the Navy, I met my wife and then I decided I wanted to play rugby. So because I was only a skinny guy, it's about 80, 85 kilos maybe, I wasn't even that. I was in 70 kilos when I was in the Navy, so I got up to sort of 85. But I went to one of my gym instructors and I said, "Listen, I want to play rugby. I need to put some size on." So what he did before he wrote me a program, he said, "No worries. I want to see a month's worth of good attendance at the gym, so signing in and out." Before he would go out of his way to write me a program. So he basically made me show commitment before he would write a program for me, which I thought was, at the time I was like, ugh. But in hindsight it was the perfect thing to do, and I'd probably recommend it to any trainer to do before taking on someone for a full-on training and nutrition plan. So basically I started training. I went to the supplement store and the guy at the supplement store was my nutrition expert. So I bought whatever he said to buy and I took whatever he said to take, which was basically creatine and protein, which is, so that's where I started. I started eating as much as I could. I got to a point where I couldn't put on any more size, and I got to 92, 94 kilos, and that's about where I plateaued. So to put on any size and to go from the skinny 75 kilo guy up to 115 kilo guy. Well, I'm 120 at the moment, but to get there was a lot of work. So we're talking initially to go from 80 kilos up to 90 kilos was sort of 3 to 6 months work. Yep, so I got that initial spurt, which everyone gets when you first join the gym, where you join the gym and first time training, your body reacts really well because it's like, okay, I'm inadequate, I need to grow. Yeah, and because you're feeding it, it grows. Yeah, but then it hits a point where you've got that initial big growth and you need to start doing things properly. Alright, so for me, it was all food. I was already training properly, I was already lifting heavy weights and doing all that sort of stuff. So food as a skinny guy to get big is you need to be consistent. So as a skinny guy with a quick metabolism, you need to make sure the food you're getting in is good food. So when you're eating the fast acting foods and chips and shit like that, your body just spits it out because there's no nutritional value to it whatsoever. So once I started eating my 5, 6, 7 meals a day, chicken and rice, vegetables, and started being more consistent with my food, my body started to grow and started to react to that food. So as an ectomorph guy, or as an ectomorph, so I thought I was, I found it really hard to eat big meals. So I can eat a lot all day, all night, but when it came to eating meals consistently, that was really hard for me. So it wasn't easy. So at points I was force feeding just to try and get the food down. So even when I wasn't hungry, I was eating, and still training obviously, but that's what made the difference to me, is making sure the food was adequate and there's enough of it. So your proteins, your carbs, your fats, you're getting, each meal is what you need, not what you crave. So my advice is, get a grip on your food and slowly increase it until you notice that you're starting to put on that size. So once I hit my late 20s, early 30s, so say 30, 20s, 28 to 30, that's when my metabolism sort of, it slowed a bit, and once I started bodybuilding properly, my body shape changed, and I went from actually being what I thought was an ectomorph, I'm actually a mesomorph. So I put on muscle quite easily. I trained hard, I ate a lot, and my body completely changed. I've still got the skinny wrists, so I don't have the big thick wrists like an endomorph will have, but so I struggle when it comes to heavy weights and stuff like that, but my body grows, it reacts. So just because you're skinny now doesn't mean you're always going to be, but it does mean you're going to have to work a little bit harder to put size on than someone else. But when it comes to getting lean, you're going to find that a bit easier than everyone else. So the endomorphs, they'll put size on like you wouldn't believe, but when it comes to getting lean, that's going to be hard for them. Yep, so as a skinny bloke, getting big, I'm now got a bit of size on. Getting lean's easy. I've never found that hard to get lean. It's just time and work. Yeah. So it can be done. It's not a quick path. It's a lot slower than you would think. But be consistent, stick with your food, and eat good food, and you'll get there. Guaranteed. I'm proof it can be done. Alright guys, thanks for listening. I hope you got a bit out of this. If you need more information on your food and training and stuff, just contact me. I'll do my best to help you out. Alright guys, please like, subscribe, share, and I will talk to you on my next video. It's coming up soon. Alright, see you guys. Bye.